Okay.
Okay, so I have here a problem regarding the computed average of the three quizzes. But first, you're going to determine what kind of flowchart is this. So, as you notice, there is an average only. You're going to compute the average. That means it's only a sequence. Okay? When you set sequence, there is no condition in both, and actually there is no repetition. So it's only a flow of one flow line, direct flow line. So how you will going to do this? First, do not forget to write the start. Start as the first or the main body of the flowchart. So this is a circle type, and after doing the start, okay, this is the beginning of the program. After doing the start, you have to write the arrow, okay? So this is the arrow line. Now, after the arrow, do not forget to write the initialization. And this figure is a hexagon. So let's recap. Start is kind of oblong type of shape, while this initialization is a hexagon type. So remember that this hexagon is a initialization. Okay, what do you mean by initialization? When you said initialization, all of the variables, all of the names that you're going to use to solve the problem is being stated here. As for example, the problem has three quizzes, and you're going to compute the average. Of course, you have the given quiz number 1. Okay? You have also quiz number 2. And of course, you have quiz number 3, since there is 3 quizzes. Now, you have to initial it into zeros since there is no value. Okay? Q1 to 0, Q2 to 0, and Q3 to 0. And after that, after initializing the quizzes, okay, you're going to write down the average, which is to be computed in the problem. Okay? So since there is no answer yet, you have to initial also the average as 0. Now, after initialization, okay, since there is no value for the quiz 1, 2, and 3, you need to enter what is the value of these three quizzes. So, for you to enter that, okay, you're going to write in the flowchart what you call enter quiz number 1. Okay? In the flowchart, what is this? What figure is this? So this is what you call the input. Okay? When you said it is an input, you can enter something. Okay? Actually, this figure, this is a rhombus. Okay? Or a parallelogram. So that means this parallelogram is used for the input, and also it is also used as the output. Now, you already entered the quiz number 1, but you didn't enter the quiz number 2. So you have to enter also quiz number 2, same as the quiz number 3. Okay. But you have to fit the figure, of course. Okay. Now, after entering these 3 pieces, you need to write down the formula for you to be able to compute all of this. Okay. So, after having the input, since you already entered the value for the quiz number 1, quiz number 2, and quiz number 3, you are now ready to compute. So for the figure, the process. Okay, this is for the process. Now, what is the formula for you to get the average? Of course, you're going to copy what's the name in your initialization for the average. And then after that, you have to write down the quiz number 1 and you're going to add it into quiz number 2 and then you have quiz number 3 all over 3. Okay. Here in the flowchart, as you notice, the division is right down into slash. Okay? So, divided into 3. So, we are already ready for the formula. In the program, if the formula should be computed, okay? You will not going to compute the problem, but the program itself will compute the given problem. So now, you are already done with the formula. You are now ready to print out the output. So when you are printing, okay, remember when you're printing out the output, this is the average which came from the formula. Okay, so this average doesn't have a double quote because with double quote for the output and without double quote is different with the printout, okay, value. When there is no double quote, that means you're going to output what is already sold with this formula. But if there is a double quote, that means you're going to print out as is what's inside the double quote. Okay, so that is the difference of the two. And